And hello again, everyone. Welcome back inside Pete Matthews Coliseum on the campus of Jacksonville State University. TV24's live coverage of the 2018 Calhoun County Basketball Tournament rolls on. Compliments of RMC Orthopedic and Joint Center, America's First Federal Credit Union, and the Calhoun County Commission. Mickey Shadricks and Gerhard Mathangani back in the hot seat, ready for the final semifinal game of the night. The only business left undone, Gerhard, is now which boys team will punch their ticket opposite Sacred Heart for the boys championship game on Monday night. Will it be the Sacs Wildcats, who are coming off a great football season?
That's right.
And have about 8 of their 11 players getting in basketball shape from football season? Or will it be the Oxford Yellow Jackets, who beat Sacred Heart in last year's final? How do you handicap this matchup?
Well, this is really interesting because, like you said, Sacs has the benefit on the one end for football, but it really hurts them in basketball. They started 2-4, but they've won 8 of their last 10. It just shows that they start rolling in the early part of January. They're the number 6 seed. We don't see a lot of upsets in this tournament. This is really the only one as far as the lower seed getting the win when they beat Alexandria in the last round. So Oxford's playing a very hot Sacs team, but Oxford has found a little groove within themselves as well.
Well, you mentioned Sacs upsetting Alexandria. They did it by shooting just an incredible percentage from the three-point line. They hit 10 threes in that game, led by Devon Beeson, who had 5 of those 10 threes. I talked to Coach Miller before the game just a few moments ago. Big story with this young man is he's got an injured hand, an injured thumb on his shooting hand, and he still shot as well as he did last night. And Coach Miller said it was very sore today. They've done all they can with it, but it'll be interesting to see how well he shoots after as well as he shot last night.
Absolutely, and one of the things that benefits both of these teams, because of the split of the quarterfinals, these two teams played here last night instead of playing at Oxford High School. The games that we saw last time with Anniston and Sacred Heart, they both played at Oxford High School, so this gym was unfamiliar territory for this tournament at this time. But for both these teams, they played here last night, so they're used to it.
All right, tip-off is coming up. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the play-by-play of Sacs and Oxford here as we continue with our live coverage of the Calhoun County Basketball Tournament right here on TV24.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Lynn Costner Auto Sales is celebrating their 20-year anniversary and says thank you, Northeast Alabama, for 20 years of great customers and community support. Over the past 20 years, Lynn Costner Auto Sales has established itself as one of the premier used vehicle dealers in the area. They take pride in doing business the right way and in taking care of their customers before and after the sale. Lynn Costner Auto Sales has a large selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. When you get ready to buy your next vehicle, stop by in person or visit their website at lyncostnerautosales.com.
I was finally ready to buy my first home after renting for the last several years. As I started my search, I got overwhelmed by how many websites and confusing listings there are. That's when I found the experts at ERA King. To me, ERA means expertise, reliability, and activity. I depended on them to find a home in my budget, and they didn't stop working until the keys were in my hands. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
At Family Health and Wellness Center in Oxford, we treat you like family.
Their appointments are always available. I never feel rushed or like I'm bothering them if I call, and Dr. Edmond is just always happy to see every patient.
It ain't like you going to some of these others, you go in there and don't know what doctor you're going to get to see. This is the doctor when you come, this is the man you will see.
I wouldn't go anywhere else. There's nobody else I trust.
Family Health and Wellness Center in Oxford. One visit and you'll know you're a member of the family.
And a good shot of Pete Matthews Coliseum here on a Saturday night. The Calhoun County Basketball Tournament, a tournament that has dealt with its fair share of weather challenges this week, but we are one game away from knowing who will be in Monday night's championship games on the girls and boys sides. Sacs and Oxford about to tip it off. Here's a look at the starting lineup for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Marquise Davis, Rock Taylor, Kendrick Foster, Eugene Leonard, and Braden Mack, 3 seniors in that group. Meanwhile, for the Sacs Wildcats, C.J. Lauderdale, Devon Beeson, LeDerick Bell, Darian Brisky, and Tyler Smith. A senior-laden group for head coach Jonathan Miller. 4 of those 5 starters are seniors. Wildcats, 10-6 overall, knocked off third-seeded Alexandria last night to get here, 61-58. We mentioned the three-point shooting, the key to that game for the Wildcats. They hit 10 threes in the game. Oxford blew out Piedmont here last night, 82-46, to improve to 12-10 overall, getting to this semifinal game here tonight. Earlier today in the boys' side, Sacred Heart pulled away from Anniston in the second half of what was a close game to get back to the county championship game on the boys' side. The girls' matchup is set, as we will have the defending champions from Anniston taking on rival Oxford, who just a few moments ago survived a close call against the Jacksonville Lady Eagles.
Easily the best game so far of the day as far as the competitive level. It stayed a one-possession game really all throughout the entire journey. So Oxford boys and girls have a chance to punch their ticket into the final.
And we are underway. Tip controlled by Marquise Davis and the Oxford Yellow Jackets out of Class 6A, taking on the Sacs Wildcats out of 4A, soon to be dropping down to 3A.
Yeah, that's a scary proposition when you think of the likes of Piedmonts and the Weavers and some of the other teams. Marquise Davis gets the Oxford Yellow Jackets going with an early three-pointer.
Davis had 22 points against Piedmont last night. He hit 4 threes in that game. On the drive, Lauderdale's pass goes off the foot of an Oxford defender, so the Wildcats will inbound the ball. Long three-point shot is way off by LeDerick Bell, the Sacs quarterback, if that name sounds familiar to you. Excellent quarterback on the Sacs football team. Marquise Davis, long-range 3 is good, but they're going to call 3 seconds before the shot. Tough break for the Yellow Jackets because Davis was about to start 2 for 2.
I was about to say, yeah, that's a really tough break, and you have to watch yourself down there. The second time I've seen a 3-second violation called here.
Oxford coming out with their full court press, challenging the Wildcats right away defensively. Sacs sets up the offense now. Oxford opening up in a man. Three-point shot is short, so the Wildcats missing badly on their first 2 offensive possessions. Kendrick Foster has it swatted away by Darian Brisky on the way to the basket, but it's off the Wildcats. Oxford basketball.
This one should be interesting. It's really a matchup of 2 teams that like to pace, not necessarily frenetically, but like to have a good, solid pace to them. And we'll see they say styles make fights, and we'll see if styles make basketball games as well, and which one's able to really cement their style of play onto this game.
Braden Mack has it inside, makes a move against 2 defenders, misses badly. Rock Taylor, the freshman, with the offensive rebound. He is fouled by the Wildcats. Let's see who they get this one on. It'll be number 23, Tyler Smith. That'll be his first foul. Kendrick Foster's long-range 3 is short. Lauderdale with the rebound. And a steal. Braden Mack takes it all the way, lays it in, draws the foul against Darian Brisky.
That's really a perfect play offensively and defensively for Oxford. Braden Mack helps on the trap, and after the trap gets the steal, tough move to the goal, to the basket. Knew he was going to get the contact. Makes the basket as well. And
Mack completes the old-fashioned three-point play. Oxford pitching a shutout here in the first minute and a half. 6-0. Wildcats have barely even grazed the rim on their offensive possessions. Wildcats in desperate need of a basket. Oxford's defensive pressure very good early in this one. And there you see Devon Beeson, the young man we talked about who shot so well last night with that wrapped up right hand. On his way to the basket, a charging foul called against Beeson, taken by Eugene Leonard.
See again here on the replay, and Leonard just gets perfect position. Just charge.
Sacks in their zone to begin the game. Braden Mack from the top of the key misses. Rebound controlled by the sophomore Tyler Smith. On the floor, Brisky lost it on the way to the basket. Wildcats have to take a timeout to save the possession. So timeout on the floor with 5:44 left in our first quarter.
30-second timeout here. So far, some of the early impressions are, like you said earlier, about Sacks really not getting as good clean of looks as they want to, and Oxford pacing themselves from the Davis three-point shot. He ended up hitting another one that didn't count because of a 3-second violation, but so far Oxford winning out as far as the battle of the offenses.
And a look inside the Sacks huddle, and at head coach Jonathan Miller, who is also the head football coach at Sacks. And as we mentioned in our open, the big challenge for his team early this year is not only do they play in a tough area, but they had a tough start to the basketball season because they had such a great football season. And 8 of his players suit up for football as well. So the Wildcats are improving. They're getting better. They're got a tough challenge in this one tonight against the Oxford Yellow Jackets. 3-point shot is an air ball by Beeson. And he hears it from the Oxford fans.
It was funny hearing the Oxford fans earlier. They knew all the players' names for Sacks, and they were talking trash. It was good, clean fun, but it's fun to see these two communities come out and rally for their squads.
Marquise Davis from the corner, and he hits it. So Marquise Davis shooting the 3 early in this one. That's 2 for him in the first quarter. And Oxford is going to get it back.
Going into this game, we thought Sacks would have the early advantage, or have the big advantage as far as the 3-point shot. They've primarily won games because of that 3-point shot. Oxford so far has hit 3 of them, as Eugene Leonard hits his first one.
Inbound play. Leonard inbounds it, goes to the corner, gets the 3. 12-0. But Derek Bell throws it in, but it's stolen by Braden Mack, and just a horrible beginning to this game for the Sacks Wildcats.
Good job by Braden Mack once again. Both of his field goals come off great defensive plays.
And a little bit too aggressive. Kendrick Foster will pick up the first foul of the game against the Yellow Jackets at the 4:40 mark of the first quarter. So not bad when you can apply this kind of pressure and just now pick up your first foul.
Says a lot about what they're doing defensively, pitching that shutout. Looks like a football score right now.
Bell inbounds to Beeson. They trap him. Lauderdale's in trouble, gets it away. 3-point shot is short. Another air ball, this one by Brisky. And Sacks' cold shooting continues. Jonathan Miller will go to his bench and bring in Davion Dukes, the sophomore. Lauderdale goes to the bench. 14-0. Jackets have 3 threes in this first quarter. Gotten them off to a great start offensively. Nice hustle by Davis, but he couldn't save it. It'll go back over to the Wildcats.
You figure if you're Sacks at this point, just get some points on the board, which should be probably is one of the goals, just to break this ice. Now, the way they shoot the three-point shot, they're really never out of a game completely, but this Oxford defense has just been tremendous, and once again, it's tremendous and causes a turnover.
5-second call against the Wildcats. So Oxford will get it back. Leonard inbounds to Rock Taylor. Knocked away by Sachs, but Marquise Davis able to get control of it. McClendon's shot is off the mark. Davis with the offensive rebound. Little spin move, but they call him for traveling in the lane.
And try to change that pivot foot there. Had a wide open player down on the post.
Inbound stolen by Leonard. Taylor's got it. Little shot in the lane is no good. Rebound by the Wildcats. Sachs still looking for their first points of the game. Oxford's just picked up their second foul. That is on Marquise Davis, his first. And that'll take us to our first timeout of the half. What a start for the defending county champions from Oxford, leading Sachs 14-0.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Tim Hodges, Fred Wilson, Don Hudson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. With our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums, our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly supports the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
I'll just be a minute.
What you just did with that clutch was so clutch. Just like when you ditched your old credit card and got the America's First credit card with a low interest rate and cash back on purchases.
And a great start for Oxford and Coach Joel Van Meter. This team is off to a 14-0 lead here against the Sachs Wildcats. Sachs not only hasn't scored yet, Gerhard, they haven't even come close.
That's right. Just suffocating defense here by the Oxford Yellow Jackets. And you can tell it by the score.
Bell steps back. Another air ball. And this is what I mean. Not only are they not scoring, their shots are not even close.
Right. The contested shots aren't close. The wide open shots aren't close. They're not getting any easy baskets. This has just been terrible all the way around for the Sachs offense.
Clendon throws it away. Wildcats having trouble getting it in. They finally do. They get it ahead to Tyler Smith. This is Brisky in the corner. Back out top to Beeson. Beeson is trapped. Dribbles away from it. Takes it all the way and lays it in.
Finally seeing the bottom of the net. That has to just ease some nerves. I mean, we've been to over halfway through the first quarter. First field goal.
Foster's three-pointer is good.
That's a backbreaker right there if you're Sachs. You finally get your first basket, then Oxford comes right back with the three-pointer.
Cross-court pass. Drive in the lane is off the mark, but a nice job following up the shot and putting it in is Tyler Smith. Eugene Leonard's three is no good. Braden Mack with the offensive rebound. Left it short. Rock Taylor, though, puts it in. Oxford working the offensive glass early. Back to a 15-point Yellow Jacket lead.
That's picture perfect right there as far as never quitting on the ball. Braden Mack was surrounded by three Wildcats. He comes up with the offensive rebound. Doesn't get the basket, but Rock Taylor follows right there. It was basically 2-on-3 the whole time, and Oxford wins that battle. And it's basically been what this game has been. Oxford is just getting to every 50-50 ball, and then knocking down big three-point shots.
Bell throws it in. Tried to throw over the press. Well, it results in an Oxford possession as Kendrick Foster. Tough shot. Somehow got it to fall. 21-4 Jackets.
I guess sometimes when it's your night, it's your night. So far for Oxford, seemingly everything's coming up spades. You take a look at the last shot. That's the back half of the shot, and just takes the step, jumps up in the air, floats it in.
Kobe Warren in the game to inbound. Gets it into Foster. Foster drives. Little runner is no good. Tapped up, no good. Braden Mack the rebound, no good. Marquise Davis with the rebound. Loose on the floor. Controlled by Kobe Warren, and he lays it in.
Coming off the bench. Good job there by Oxford, just never quitting on it.
Wildcats get it in. Beeson in trouble. Cross-court pass is nearly stolen. Smith has to go to the ground. It's loose. Battle for the loose basketball, and Oxford's got it, but it's stolen here by Brisky. And the Wildcats on the attack. A foul against the Yellow Jackets. Boy, just getting across half court has been a chore for this Wildcat team against this Oxford press. To Corey Russell, Simeon Shadricks check in the game. Braden Mack goes out, as does Mont McClendon. 23-4, a minute 42 left in this first quarter.
This one really hard to believe for a Sacs team that just came off of a 10 3-point performance against Alexandria to pull off really the only upset of the Calhoun County tournament so far by seedings.
Brisky trapped, and Sacs almost turned it over again.
It's just been really tough sledding here for the Sacs team. Coach Jonathan Miller looking for some answers here from his ball club.
Bell into Brisky. Inside it goes. Some contact. No whistle as Dukes missed it. Offensive rebound and a foul on the way up as Zay Elston, the sophomore, will go to the free throw line. Marquise Davis picking up the foul. That'll be number 2 on the Oxford senior. Well, as the old saying goes, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. This is one of those situations where you just kind of have to just take it one play at a time, one possession at a time.
That's right.
Keep your eyes off the scoreboard.
Right, just crawl into this thing, and if it takes free throws, takes free throws. But so far, things aren't working for Sacs. But if they can start getting offensive rebounds, getting some second possessions.
Foster's shot is off the mark, and it's off of Russell. And it will go over to the Wildcats. Jalen Young dribbles out of the trap. Brisky takes it all the way. Good defense by Kendrick Foster. Shadricks in the corner. Shot is good. (26-6). The lead is 20. Contact on the way to the basket against Brisky. Shot is waved off.
5 3-point shots so far for the Oxford Yellow Jackets by 4 different players. So everybody's getting into the mix.
Foul is on to Corey Russell. His first. So Wildcats inbound, down by 20, 49 seconds left. Brisky, guarded by Shadricks. Posts him up. Turnaround jump shot is short. Rebound Warren. Warren pushes it up the floor. Finds Shadricks in the left corner. His shot is off the top of the backboard, no good. McClendon, it'll be off of Davion Dukes. So Oxford will keep it with 33 seconds left in the quarter. Warren gets it into Foster. Here's Warren from the right corner, and he bangs in a 3. It has been a three-point shooting fest here in this first quarter for the Yellow Jackets. 29-point first quarter. Bell in trouble. Finds some help. Sachs looking for a final shot here to end the quarter. Bell's going to take it. His three-point shot is way short off of Rock Taylor, so 2.3 seconds remain in the quarter. The Wildcats will have one more shot at it here. Corey Russell's going to check in the game for Rock Taylor. Bell has his shot partially blocked. Good defense by Kendrick Foster. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. A quarter dominated by the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Oxford leading Sachs 29-6 in our second boys semifinal matchup here at the Calhoun County Basketball Tournament. We'll continue with our live coverage right here on TV 24 in just a moment.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Lynn Costner Auto Sales is celebrating their 20-year anniversary and says thank you, Northeast Alabama, for 20 years of great customers and community support. Over the past 20 years, Lynn Costner Auto Sales has established itself as one of the premier used vehicle dealers in the area. They take pride in doing business the right way and in taking care of their customers before and after the sale. Lynn Costner Auto Sales has a large selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. When you get ready to buy your next vehicle, stop by in person or visit the website at lyncostnerautosales.com.
And we are back. Sachs will inbound to begin the second quarter. Oxford with pressure at half court. Keeping the pressure on the Wildcats. Bell swings it over to Beeson. Oxford's defense just all over Sachs early in this one. Rock Taylor snatches that one to Corey Russell. Lays it in.
That's just great execution there on that fast break. Russell just runs the middle of the floor. They find him wide open.
31-6. That passage ball is knocked away. Jackets push it up the floor. Shadrick from the right wing misses it long. Rebound taken by the Wildcats. Devon Beeson. Nice Euro step, avoiding contact, draws a foul against the Yellow Jackets, and he'll shoot free throws.
Take a look here at the last Oxford basket. Russell just runs right down the middle of the court. I think even he was surprised to see he had that wide of a lane. Two defenders are stacked pretty deep on the fast break, and he lays it up, and seemingly nothing can go wrong here for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Putting on a clinic.
Beeson, who played so well against Alexandria last night, not getting as many clean looks in this one. Misses the second free throw, so he's got 3 points in the game. Shadrick pushes it up the floor. Gets it over to Leonard. Sachs gone man now. Leonard drives, draws the contact from Davion Dukes, who will pick up his first foul.
We'll see if Sachs tries to change up what they do offensively, go to a slower pace, run a lot more half-court sets.
Kendrick Foster back in the game now for the Yellow Jackets. Leonard inbounds to Foster. Braden Mack posted up, back out to Foster. Back inside to Braden Mack. He is triple teamed. Goes up anyway, has the shot blocked, draws the foul. as they get number 13, Davion Dukes. That'll be number 2 on the sophomore. Braden Mack, the senior, back to the free throw line where he is 1 for 1 in the game. And he hits the first.
Mack has been a beast down low and made his presence felt defensively so far.
Missed the second. Russell, though, with the offensive rebound, but throws it away. Beeson's got it. Beeson dribbles through all kind of traffic, lost it. And here come the Yellow Jackets with a 3-on-2. The lob to Foster, missed it, but Braden Mack's there to clean up.
Almost had a Sports Center highlight play, but Mack right there to finish it.
Bell's shot is no good. Beeson's got it. He shoots a 3, misses it. Braden Mack chases down the rebound. Out it goes to McClendon. Jackets on the push. McClendon takes it all the way. Acrobatic wild shot, no good. And a tough break for the Wildcats as Dukes dribbles it off his foot. So it'll go back over to the Yellow Jackets, who substitute Rock Taylor and Kobe Warren. Russell and McClendon will head to the Oxford bench.
34-7. This has just been what you would call a clinic both ways, on offense and on defense for Oxford. If you're watching at home, count how many easy things that Sachs can do offensively. Every pass is contended. Every shot is contended. It's been a tremendous defensive effort, and then supplemented by the offense as well, as Braden Mack now goes into double figures.
Again, defensive pressure. Wildcats having a hard time handling it.
Just this defensive intensity for the Oxford Yellow Jackets has been really outstanding.
I mean, you know, the way they're playing defense, I keep looking to see if my pen's still here, you know, if my papers have been stolen, you know.
And as far as you know, it could have been stolen 5 times and brought right back to you. There's no let up. And Coach Joel Van Meter has had the same energy from the opening tip. It's a 30-point lead, but he still has the same energy, the same intensity, and nothing has been easy so far for Oxford, for Sachs, and it's a credit to what Oxford has done defensively. We talked about how yesterday Sachs came in here and knocked down 10 three-point shots. And really, when you can knock down a three-pointer, theoretically, you're never out of a ball game, but this was going to be tough to muster, considering the fact that Oxford's been just as hot.
Brisky hits 2 free throws. 37-9. Yellow Jackets here. A minute and a half into quarter number 2. Leonard drives, dishes to Taylor. Eugene takes a 3 from the right corner, no good. Rebound controlled by the Wildcats. Brisky dribbles around Kendrick Foster. Eugene Leonard knocks it away. And he will finish with a layup. So just when the Wildcats think they've beaten the press, Oxford comes up with another steal. Leonard lays it in for his 5th point of the game. Timeout on the floor. 4:58 here in this first half. Oxford with a 30-point lead.
Take a look here at the replay, and it all started with the Eugene Leonard steal. Comes back and finishes it up there. This has just been fun to watch if you're a fan of defensive basketball, and Oxford continuing that momentum on offense as well. As a team, they're shooting well from 3. They're playing great defense, shooting well from the free throw line as well. Really all you wanted when you're drawing up a game plan to face a team like Sachs that's come on strong. We talked about it at the Open, how they've won 8 of their last 10 ball games, including a win here in this county tournament.
County Tournament on TV 24 is brought to you by the RMC Orthopedic and Joint Center, by America's First Federal Credit Union, and by the Calhoun County Commission. Bell gets it into Brisky, who's quickly double teamed, stolen again. Foster pulls up, jump shot from the top of the key is off the mark. Rock Taylor with the offensive rebound. He is fouled on the way up. Taylor's headed to the free throw line.
And even when Oxford is not hitting their initial shot, they're always in contention for the offensive rebound. Most of the times they are getting them, and even when they're not, there's 2 or 3 bodies right in there, never giving up on any play.
That is Brisky's second foul. And the 9th grader, Rock Taylor, misses the first offering. Taylor's got 2 points in the game so far. Second free throw is good. Taylor's got 3. As Oxford has 8 players in the scoring column already in the first half of this game.
And 6 of them have hit 3-point shots already.
Bell pulling the trigger, gets it in, and he is going to be fouled by Kobe Warren. See, number 1 on Warren. Or no, out of bounds off the Wildcats. So Foster drives in the lane, dishes off to Braden Mack. His 3-point shot is no good. And a rebound controlled by the Wildcats, and we've got a jump ball. Kobe Warren reaching in, creating the jump situation. Oxford will have it underneath their own basket. And it goes to Braden Mack in the lane. Little half hook is good. Braden Mack having a 7-point second quarter. Has 12 points overall. Left-handed layup by Jalen Young is no good. Foster pushes, pulls up, shoots it short, and the Wildcats have it. LaDerrick Bell is fouled, trying to advance the basketball. A blocking foul called here against Warren, and that will be Kobe Warren's first. Checking into the game for the Yellow Jackets, Trafton Hauk, the junior. And LaDerrick Bell will head to the free throw line for the 1-and-1. And he hits the front end. Sacks getting their 10th point midway through the second quarter. The second shot is good. So LaDerrick Bell has 2. Warren drives, has it knocked away. Shadricks is open. Misses the shot. Rebound inside on the floor. We've got another jump ball situation. This time it'll go over to the Wildcats. And that'll take us to our second quarter media break. It is all Oxford, the defending boys county champion. Looking good here in this one, leading the Wildcats 42-11.
Don't just dream it. Call Family Savings Credit Union. Right now, get something you want for as low as 2.24% APR. You can even apply online or by phone. Family Savings Credit Union, where your money grows with you and your family.
Water is in a bit of trouble. Suspected of carrying harmful pollutants into community storm drains, stormwater faces a serious problem. When it rains, dirt, motor oil, excess fertilizer, and trash are washed into rivers, lakes, and streams. And a clean raindrop becomes an unwilling accomplice in the problem of water pollution. It's up to each of us to do our part. Visit cleanwatercampaign.com to learn more. Help protect our water.
And we're back at the Calhoun County Basketball Tournament here on TV 24. Our fourth and final semifinal game of this semifinal Saturday night, which is normally championship night, but due to the weather cancellations this week, the championship games have been moved to Monday. Lauderdale is trapped in the backcourt, and it is stolen. Shadricks is fouled on the way to the basket. It was trying to dish to Rock Taylor.
This has really been what Oxford's done all game, is done a great job of pressing, getting the ball out. So many points off turnovers, and then knocking down three-point shots. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of things you can be doing a whole lot better for Oxford, just as far as taking the overall holistic look at the game.
Shadricks at the line for 1-and-1. Hits the first. Second is good. Shadricks now with 5 points in the game. 44-11. Taylor with another steal. Over to McClendon. His three-point shot is good.
You want a snapshot of the way this game has played out. You just saw it. Defense into offense.
Sachs gets a quick two. Shadricks in the corner. Partially blocked. Taylor there with the rebound. Misses inside. And it is controlled by the Yellow Jackets. Stolen by Bell. Wildcats, one of a few steals in this game, and almost restolen by McClendon. .308 to play here in the first half. Brisky now guarded by Warren. Gets a screen. Brisky posting up. Goes up. Tough shot. And it is off of Taylor, so Sachs will keep it.
Oxford's defense just doing a great job of collapsing wherever they think the ball is going to be shot from. There you saw one-on-one for a lot of the possession. Then literally as soon as Brisky comes up with the shot, three guys are all over him, making it difficult.
Lauderdale gives it to Brisky. Guarded by Shadricks. He drives. Shot is no good. Rebound and a foul inside. Let's see who they get this one on. That is on Russell of Oxford. That is number 2 on Russell. And Brisky to shoot free throws. First is good. Brisky now 3 for 3 from the line. All 3 of his points from the free throw line. Misses the second. 47-14. McClendon misses badly. And it'll be off of the Wildcats. Oxford will inbound. 2:36 to play here in the first half. Inside the Houck, back to Warren. Warren drives. Shot is no good. Wildcats trying to save it in, and unable to do so is Davion Dukes. So it's Oxford ball again. Oxford taking their time. Russell drives. Acrobatic shot that goes somehow. That's kind of the way it's been in the first half for the Jackets. Their shooting percentage is torrid in this first half. 49-14. McClendon drives it all the way in, has his shot blocked. For Derek Bell over to Lauderdale. He drives back out to Bell. Cross court it goes. Dukes shoots and misses. Jackets push it. Shadricks on the right wing. And Oxford sets it up. Kobe Warren out high, guarded by Lauderdale. And they're going to call Warren for carrying. And checking in for the Yellow Jackets, Rylan Houck, the 8th grader. The two brothers on the court together here in the late stages of the first half. Brisky drives, cut off by Warren. Good defense by the young sophomore. Takes the shot, misses. Contact inside. And they're going to call a foul against the Jackets.
Taking a look here.
It's the 8th grader Rylan Hauk with the foul, his first. Officials having a conversation here.
So they'll be in the double bonus. You get 2 free throws here for Brisky.
He's 3 for 4 from the line here in the first half. Gets the roll. Make it 4 for 5. Misses the second one short. Sachs, though, with the rebound. Brisky on the drive. They called for a charge here. Nice job that time by Trafton Hauk.
Set up perfectly. Knew that he was coming. Take a look at the replay here. Knew Brisky was on the move. Gets in perfect position. Sets his feet and gets the charge.
Eli Downs in the game for Coach Jonathan Miller. As we go under a minute to play, first half. McClendon drives the lane, falls down, loses it out of bounds, turnover. LeDerrick Bell pointing long, telling his receiver to go deep.
Used to seeing that. He was a phenomenal quarterback for the last 2 years for Sachs.
Long range 3 for Bell. And he gets it to fall. His 5th point of the game. Making it 49-18. Oxford can play for 1 if they so choose. Warren drives. Misses. Rebound taken by Shadricks. Over to McClendon. 12 seconds and counting. McClendon has it stolen. Wildcats, 3 seconds. Lauderdale gets it ahead to Bell. Gets it off at the buzzer, and he misses it short. And that'll take us to the end of the first half. 49-18. Yellow Jackets in the lead. And let's send it down to John Holder.
Okay, we're here with Sachs head coach Jonathan Miller. Coach, sometimes you just simply run into a buzzsaw, I think.
Yeah, you know, their length and their height's bothering us, you know, and you know, we're a small team. And we knew it was going to be a difficult challenge for us tonight, but, you know, we still can play a little bit better and compete a little bit harder.
What kind of attitude do you want your team to come out with in the second half?
Well, we just got to compete for 4 quarters. I don't know those 2 quarters. We got a little frustrated and didn't compete, but we got to do that for 4 quarters.
All right, Coach, we'll let you get to your team. Good luck. Jonathan Miller, head coach of the Sachs Wildcats.
All right, thanks, John. And thanks to Coach Miller for taking the time to speak with John for just a moment. There's a lot of coaches in this situation, I'll just tell you, that you would have never known they turned us down.
That's right.
We just wouldn't have had a coaches interview.
That's right. That's right. Always gracious with his time.
Classy move by Coach Jonathan Miller. We'll take a break, come back with the F&M three-point shootout competition for the final time this evening here on TV 24.
It's time to get after it. So turn it on, crank it up, and let's get after it together. America's first small business services.
For great food and great service and a great atmosphere, come and see us at Top of the River in Anniston. At Top of the River, all of our products are prepared fresh daily with our own special recipes. including our farm-raised, grain-fed catfish. Large groups and private groups from 50 to 250 are welcome, and reservations are accepted 7 days a week. And ask about our full on-site catering, family-owned and operated since 1982, and always kid-friendly. Top of the river in Anniston.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
Lynn Costner Auto Sales is celebrating their 20-year anniversary and says thank you, Northeast Alabama, for 20 years of great customers and community support. Over the past 20 years, Lynn Costner Auto Sales has established itself as one of the premier used vehicle dealers in the area. They take pride in doing business the right way and in taking care of their customers before and after the sale. Lynn Costner Auto Sales has a large selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. When you get ready to buy your next vehicle, stop by in person or visit the website at lyncostnerautosales.com.
It's time to get after it. So turn it on, crank it up, and let's get after it together. America's first small business services.
And back inside Pete Matthews Coliseum, Mickey Shadricks, Gerhard Mathangani, and John Holder with you at the boys semifinal game between Oxford and Sachs. It is all the Yellow Jackets, 49-18 here at halftime. And our F&M three-point shootout has been going on at halftime of each of our games tonight. And Gerhard, why don't you run down the young ladies who will be competing here at halftime in this game?
Yeah, some of the familiar names that we've seen in the games around here in the Calhoun County tournament, including Anna Bolton, who just played earlier, who punched her ticket to the championship game. She'll be playing along with Mackenzie Paris and Courtney Schuler of Bohatchee. Kyra Williams, who unfortunately fouled out of the semifinal game against Oxford for Jacksonville. Aima Harris for Sacred Heart, Anastasia O'Neill for Donahoe, and Vanessa Carter, a fantastic player for the Welcome Panthers.
All right, while we just show some of the young ladies shooting, obviously we're going to get the total when the competition is complete. But Gerhard, kind of summarize what we've had so far here today in our previous three games.
Yeah, this has been a really interesting set of games, and we knew it would be fun. You start off with that first game with Anniston and Piedmont. Anniston Bulldogs in their quarterfinal round really cruised past Weaver for a big win, beat them by 50 points. Things were a lot harder today against the Piedmont Bulldogs, and Piedmont ended up playing tough at the beginning, and Anniston pulled it away at the end, came away with a big victory to punch their ticket in, looking to win a 4th of 5 county championships. And then Oxford and Jacksonville easily played the best game of the day so far on the girls' side. It really was a one-possession game for 90% of the contest, and Oxford pulls it away. So Oxford and Anniston will meet in the girls' championship matchup. Between those two girls' games was the boys' game between Sacred Heart and Anniston, and that one was really a game of swings. Anniston really started off with the hot hand. Sacred Heart came back, and Sacred Heart ended up pulling it away to punch their ticket in. This is the 4th year in a row they're back in the championship match. They'll take on the winner of this game, which we could probably say is going to be Oxford so far, considering they have a 31-point lead going into halftime. So setting up another Sacred Heart Oxford matchup coming up on Monday night.
And as far as the competition here goes, the shooters have, what, a minute, 60 seconds?
That's right.
And we're looking for one. The top shooter is going to advance to Monday night, where they'll have an opportunity to shoot for a big cash prize, right?
$10,000 that'll be provided by F&M Bank, and they do a lot of great work within our high school sports. And we heard from Chris Latta earlier from F&M Bank, and it's one of the ways they like to get in and support high school sports. So yes, one player, either gender, will go on. To let you know how things have started off, Simeon Shadricks, who plays for the Oxford Yellow Jackets, shot at halftime of the 4 o'clock girls game. He's the leader out of the clubhouse, 16 three-pointers. Also in the boys game that followed, Aila Dudley, who plays for Anniston, who had a fantastic game on the court, then came out and knocked down the most for that grouping with 13. In our last game, it was the boys shooting once again. A last-minute switch for Aniston. James Hayes came on and hit 15. And this grouping right here is the last grouping, looking to knock off Simeon Shadricks, who has 16. So far, Simeon Shadricks has 16, James Hayes has 15, and Aisha Dudley has 13. And the one player will shoot for that $10,000 prize. Now, we don't know yet what time they'll shoot for that, because a lot of that is largely based on who's playing in the game. And if it stays as is right now with Simeon Shadricks, they'll be playing in that championship game. So I don't know if they'll do that at the halftime of maybe the girls' game. They'll find a way to finagle that in there. That way they can get it in and get him a chance at that $10,000. And that split between the player and the school. Should have add that part in there, split between the player and the school, that $10,000 grand prize for a half-court shot.
And we'd like to also remind you that coming up on Monday night, we will be on the air at 6 p.m. with live coverage of the girls' county championship game between Anniston and Oxford. Whenever you put those two schools together, it's got a lot of marquee value. Then, of course, the boys' championship game, it'll be Sacred Heart, and it really does appear as though it'll be a rematch of last year's boys' championship game, a game that Oxford won, and the Yellow Jackets, and it looks like they will be defending their title against the runner-up from a year ago, Sacred Heart, unless Sachs can mount some kind of major comeback here in the second half. We will step aside for a timeout and come back. We will get the final results from the young ladies who are shooting here at halftime and see if maybe the winner comes out of this group. And we'll obviously be ready for the second half of Oxford and Sachs here on TV 24.
In Alabama, school spirit is in the air on Friday nights. At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're giving our customers the opportunity to show their school spirit every day with our new Spirit debit card. We've designed a unique card for every Calhoun County school that includes the school's logo. So every time you use the card, you're showing your school spirit. Come in and get your school spirit debit card today. We've got spirit at F&M Bank. Service, solutions, and strength. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Lynn Costner Auto Sales is celebrating their 20-year anniversary and says thank you, Northeast Alabama, for 20 years of great customers and community support. Over the past 20 years, Lynn Costner Auto Sales has established itself as one of the premier used vehicle dealers in the area. They take pride in doing business the right way and in taking care of their customers before and after the sale. Lynn Costner Auto Sales has a large selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. When you get ready to buy your next vehicle, stop by in person or visit the website at lyncostnerautosales.com.
And we're back at Pete Matthews Coliseum, getting set for second half action between Oxford and Sachs. Let's send it over to John Holder courtside.
Okay, we're here back at halftime, a few minutes away from the second half of Sachs and Oxford. Chastity Goodwin, marketing director with F&M Bank, is with us. You know, you and I started out at Ohatchee, week one of the high school football season with the scholarship spirit toss. Now we've got the three-point shootout. Tell us a little bit about why you're doing this.
Well, we want to give back to the community, help the kids out with a scholarship, help the schools out, and we just love being out here and part of the schools and giving back.
Been fun tonight, and we'll see you back here Monday night, right?
But yeah, we'll be back here Monday night for the half-court shot for a chance at $10,000.
It'll be a lot of fun. Chastity Goodwin, F&M Bank, marketing director, and we had some great three-point shooting here, guys. We'll continue this on Monday night.
All right, thanks a lot, John and Gerhard. This is a lot of fun. It brings a lot of buzz to halftime when the athletes get out here and shoot. And these teams have been putting basically their best three-point shooter out here in this competition on the boys and the girls sides.
Right. Normally when you get these things, whether it's in college or in high school, you end up getting a random fan that comes and does it. What the added wrinkle here is that because you're swapping the genders, the girls shooting the boys game and vice versa, you're getting the actual, probably the best three-point shooters in the entire school, in the entire building. You add that on top of the fact that there's one representative from each school, really adds a competitive flavor to it. Great job by F&M, really creative idea to get these schools competing for that $10,000 prize.
Oxford misses the shot, but guess what? An offensive rebound, and Eugene Leonard lays it in with a chance for a three-point play. Looking at the Oxford scoring numbers here at halftime, it's amazing. The Jackets, again, with 8 players that have scored. Braden Mack, the only player in double figures. Other than that, you had 4 Jackets with 5 points, 1 with 6, 1 with 3, 1 with 4. You talk about balanced scoring in that first half.
Absolutely, and really it's all stretched out of their defense. They've played great team defense, and we've seen it where a couple individuals play defense and it helps the team. Here, really, it's across the board. Everybody getting in passing lanes, contesting shots. This is really just a great way to play good team defense for the Oxford Yellow Jackets, and then it's paying off on the offensive end where everybody's getting a slice of the pie.
Rock Taylor completes the 3-point play. So the Jackets basically get a 5-point trip there in their first possession of the second half. The 2 from Leonard, then the putback and the free throw by Rock Taylor. 54-18, and things stay the way they are here. We're going to have a running clock in the fourth quarter.
That's right. We got word from the officials that it's entering the fourth quarter. If it's a 30-point game, it's a running clock, and it stays a running clock. So there's no threshold that once it gets back down to a certain point, it goes back to a normal clock. It's running clock all the way through.
Leonard dishes to Braden Mack, who lays it in. Braden Mack, the leading scorer in the game now with 14 points. And it's stolen by Rock Taylor, and Rock will lay it in.
It's so easy in situations like this when you're a team that's leading by so much to lay off a little bit. So far, that's not the case. And what Coach Miller told John right before halftime was he wants to see this team compete. Can't be pleased with the way so far things have gone. He understood that this was going to be a tall task either way with the Oxford Yellow Jackets. Take a look here at the replay. They just took it right out of his hands. Took it out of LeDerick Bell's hands. Finishes with the easy layup on the other end, does the freshman.
So Rock Taylor quickly with 5 points here within the first minute of the third quarter. So Taylor now with 8 points in the game. It'll be interesting to see how long the Jackets stay with this press. They didn't let up on Piedmont last night, blowing out the Bulldogs 82-46. Jackets now with a 40-point lead in this one.
I would say they're probably the hottest team in this tournament so far. The first 4 seeds get double bye, so a lot of times in these situations you run into a hot team like Oxford did with Sachs, but defensively it's been all Jackets.
So Brisky brings it across half court. Braden Mack knocks it away, and Eugene Leonard fouls going for the loose ball. And that will be the second personal foul on the Oxford junior point guard. So we understand Mackenzie Paris of Pleasant Valley was the winner of that round with 12 threes.
So it looks like Simeon Shadricks will be the one that's competing for that $10,000 prize. I talked to the people over at F&M, and they were having to find out who wins to find out when that half-court shot will be on Monday night. As soon as we find out, we will let you know. So it'll be Simeon Shadricks, who hit 16 three-pointers. James Hayes, 15. Aisha Dudley, 13, and then, as you heard, Paris with 12.
That is Eugene Leonard's third foul. So Eugene picking up 2 fouls quickly here in the last few seconds of this third quarter, sending Darian Brisky to the free throw line, where he is 4 for 6 on the night. Misses this one short. Second one is no good. Brisky misses both. So here come the Jackets. Foster trying to hit Rock Taylor. That pass a little high and out of bounds. Turnover to the Wildcats. Oxford still in a press, up by 40. So Derek Bell gets it over to Beeson, who Oxford has definitely kept in check in this game tonight. Beeson only has 3 points, make it 5 as he drives in and scores. Leonard drives, pulls up. His short shot is good.
And it seems like every time that Sachs gets a little bit of momentum, just even a little bit of juice, there's always a response there from Oxford.
Inside it goes to Taylor. Misses the shot. And we're going to have a jump ball as Beeson and Taylor. And Sachs will have the ball. Substitution for Coach Miller. Checking in the game is Jalen Young, the senior, going to the bench. Number 23, Tyler Smith. Lauderdale works it up the floor against Davis. Lauderdale lost it and fouls Leonard after he lost control of the ball. So C.J. Lauderdale gets whistled for his first foul.
This game going to trend of one of the few blowouts on the boys' side. Of course, Oxford blew out Piedmont yesterday. See Braden Mack with the turnover. Ohatchee knocked off Welburn in the first round, 70-30, so it was a 40-point spread. And then Anderson beat Faith Christian in the second round, 90-40. It's a 50-point spread. And we're knocking on the door of that in this contest.
Taylor in the lane, puts it in. Taylor got a 7-point third quarter going. A lot of the crowd here is thinned out on this Saturday night. Expect a big crowd on Monday night for the championship games. Tough break there by Brisky. Missed a layup. Leonard open, passes up the shot. Taylor takes it in the lane, misses it. Braden Mack follows it up. Braden Mack now with 16 points. Nearing the midway point of the third quarter, it is a 44-point lead for the Jackets. Brisky shot is no good. Davis on the drive. Fouled on the floor by C.J. Lauderdale. That is number 2 on Lauderdale. Substitution for the Wildcats. Davion Dukes comes in, as does Zay Elston. Lauderdale goes to the bench along with LaDerrick Bell.
Just a note to how thorough of a team victory this has been. Marquise Davis knocked down the first two three-point shots of the game. Hasn't scored since then, and really a situation where there's been so much other scoring all the way around him, including another basket there by Rock Taylor.
9 points for Taylor here in the third quarter. A lot of looks inside the lane for the Oxford freshman, and he's making them count. Double team. And a foul against Davis. That'll be number 3 on Marquise Davis. And it comes with 3:35 to play here in our third period. That'll take us to our media timeout. It has been all Oxford from the opening tip. Jackets a quarter and a half away from punching their ticket to the boys' championship game.
I was finally ready to buy my first home after renting for the last several years. As I started my search, I got overwhelmed by how many websites and confusing listings there are. That's when I found the experts at ERA King. To me, ERA means expertise, reliability, and activity. I depended on them to find a home in my budget, and they didn't stop working until the keys were in my hands. ERA King. To us, it means always doing the right thing for every client. What will ERA mean to you? Find out at eraking.com.
At Family Health and Wellness Center in Oxford, we treat you like family.
Their appointments are always available. I never feel rushed or like I'm bothering them if I call, and Dr. Edmond is just always happy to see every patient.
It ain't like you going to some of these others, you go in there and don't know what doctor you're going to get to see. This is the doctor when you come, this is the man you will see.
I wouldn't go anywhere else. There's nobody else I trust.
Family Health and Wellness Center in Oxford. One visit and you'll know you're a member of the family.
And we're back. 3:35 to play here in our third quarter. A look there at Darian Brisky of the Sacs Wildcats, who the going has been tough for them tonight. It's Oxford with a 66-20 lead. Winner of this one advances to the boys championship game to take on Sacred Heart on Monday night.
Just to put some of this in the context, and this is going to be, there's so many stats you can use here, but Oxford has hit 25 field goals, 3-pointers and jump shots, not counting any free throws. Oxford has hit 25 field goals. Sacs has 20 points.
Brisky takes a tough shot, gets it to fall. So Brisky with his first basket from the field, and Marquise Davis takes it all the way and lays it in. His first point since the first quarter. Gerhard mentioned he had a couple of threes right at the beginning of the game. That's his first point since that point. Oxford finally getting out of that press. Half-court defense now. Beeson drives. Tough break. That's kind of been Sacs' night. Davis pulls up and shoots a three. Braden Mack with the rebound. Goes up and draws the foul. So Braden Mack's going to the free throw line.
Mack so far with 17 points in the game, leading scorer. As talked about earlier, this has been a balanced offensive attack here for the Oxford Yellow Jackets. So Mack was the first one in double digits, could be the first one to get into 20s.
Mack hits the first. Several substitutions for the Jackets. Warren, Russell, Shadricks, McClendon in the game. Mack's second free throw is good. Now Houck will get Mack, who was the free throw shooter. So Mack leaves the game with 18 points. Again, the game's leading scorer.
And you would figure that's the last we've seen of them. We'll see them again on Monday night. Maybe some foul situations would change that, but so far those guys have earned their rest.
And losing it out of bounds is Beeson. But Sacs will maintain possession with 2:10 to play here in the third. Beeson couldn't get free for a three. Oxford in a man. And contact here is Brisky. Draws the foul against Houck. That is his first.
Substitution for Sacs. Looks like Mario Thomas comes into the game. We should mention he's a member of our KFC Pigskin Roundup All-Star football team. Fantastic defensive tackle. He's a junior. Also plays basketball for Coach Jonathan Miller.
And Beeson got free, but shot an air ball. Jackets push it up the floor. Shadrick's open from the left wing and nails the three.
You know what? That's actually really, really fitting because Simeon Shadricks was on that side. He was on that court, or that basket, I should say, and he was shooting the F&M shootout in the 4 o'clock girls game. I mentioned earlier, he hit 16, the most of any competitor today. He will go to Monday night's championship for that shootout and shoot a half-court shot, that chance at $10,000. I was just waiting for him to get to that side. I was waiting for Oxford to get to that side of the court because he just hit 16 over there. He's hit 17 so far in that basket today.
And just for the record, I had nothing to do with any of this.
I was wondering where he's got his shot from. And Wherever it is, it's a good mix, and he's been a big part of a big night for the Jackets.
Russell looking into Houck. Houck makes a move, misses the shot. Mario Thomas with the rebound. Under a minute to play, third quarter. Three-point shot is no good by the Wildcats, and here comes Oxford. Kobe Warren to Shadricks. Gets it over to Russell. Out to Warren. Back out to Russell. He shoots a three. Out with the rebound. And takes it. And gets it to fall. So the junior, Trafton Houck, is in the scoring column. The 9th Oxford player to score in the game. And that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. So Sachs doing very little to chip away at this Oxford lead. Yellow Jackets in control, 75-22. We'll be back with the fourth quarter in just a moment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of J.D. Hess, Tim Hodges, Fred Wilson, Don Hudson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. With our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums, our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly supports the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
My dad taught me to fish right here years ago. But when an old sports injury started slowing him down, I knew we'd need to search for the latest procedures in knee and hip replacement. With physical therapy tailored to his needs, a dedicated team of doctors and nurses, and he'd want a fast recovery time. So where'd he find all that?
Right here at RMC.
And we're back to Pete Matthews Coliseum. Mickey Shadricks, Gerhard Mathangani, and John Holder with you as we're getting set for the final 8 minutes. And it'll be a quick 8 minutes because we're in a running clock situation. 75-22. Jackets with the lead. So the clock will not stop except for timeouts. McClendon's shot is no good. Shadricks chased down the loose ball into Houck. Houck double team, and it's going to be called for steps.
So we will have a rematch of the Oxford Yellow Jackets and Sacred Heart Cardinals on Monday night. The game tips off around 8 o'clock. We'll have the girls' game, then I'm guessing we'll have the trophy presentation and all of that. Then play the boys' game, a rematch of last year's county title.
Long range three is no good. Sachs with the offensive rebound and the putback by Tyler Smith. Houck has it at the top of the key. His shot is no good. And he fouls going for the loose ball. So we will have a rematch. Oxford and Sacred Heart, boys. Good game it was last year. Oxford got off to a good start. Sacred Heart kind of had a big second quarter, had a halftime lead. Oxford coming back in that second half. A lot of the same players for both teams will be back in the game. What do you think?
It should be really interesting. 76-68 was the final score last year. And these are two programs. It's a great dynamic between them because it is the largest school against the smallest school, just as far as population is concerned. But two great basketball programs. This is Sacred Heart's 4th consecutive year in this championship. And they won their first time around. They were basically the darlings a while back, or it's actually, I should say, their 5th straight year in the championship game. They made it back in 2013, 2014 as well, when they lost to the Anniston Bulldogs. And then they came back and beat Alexandria in the 2014 season. They've lost the last 2 to Anniston and Oxford, respectively. So they'll get their chance at it again. As I think this is the second three-point shot. See, three-point basket of the day.
Warren, wild shot, no good. Here come the Wildcats. And Shadrick's going to be whistled for a foul against Zay Elston. That'll be his first. So 1-1 for Elston.
That girls' championship kicks off at 6 o'clock. Be Anniston versus Oxford as Elston knocks down the free throw.
And that has the chance to be a really interesting matchup.
Absolutely. I was talking to Coach Bennett post-game of their thriller against Jacksonville, and she said when you just put those two names together, just the name recognition alone, let alone the fact that they are the top 2 seeds in the dance. I should say the 3rd seed Oxford is, knocked off 2nd seed Jacksonville, so it's 1 versus 3. But 2 teams playing really good basketball going into that championship match on Monday night.
Lauderdale shoots a 3. It's an air ball. And McClendon turns it over. Lauderdale dishes, and it is taken by Warren. Russell's got it. Over to Shadricks. His three-point shot is good.
You know, in the scorebook, Simeon Shadricks has 3 three-point shots. In my book, he's got 19 three-point shots. He hit 16 in the shootout. I don't think I can hit 19 three-pointers if you gave me all afternoon.
And another turnover by the Wildcats. Just been a tough night in that category. McClendon's left-handed layup is left short. Again, with this running clock, no media break as well, so this thing will be over here very soon. 80-31 now the score. Russell fires a 3 and hits it.
This is clicking on all cylinders here for the Oxford Yellow Jackets.
Open three-point shot from the corner, no good. Glendon with the rebound. Pushes it up the floor. Shadrick's open again. This one's short. Lauderdale takes it all the way, has the shot partially blocked. Russell ahead to Shadricks. And Shadricks throws it away, trying to hit McClendon.
The interesting thing here is just Oxford's defense has been relentless. Not in that full-court press, but they are, when they get into the half-court sets, there is no let-up. I'm pretty sure that that's one of the things that Coach Joel Van Meter wants to carry over to Monday night, is take on a very good, very talented Sacred Heart team led by the Alabama signee Deontay Wood. That should be a really great matchup. Wood played a lot of post today, and if it's the same way tomorrow, I think that'll be a great matchup between he and Braden Mack. And Mack's had a fantastic game today. He finished with 18 points, I believe, before getting a well-deserved rest. That's in 3 quarters of play.
Interesting Sacred Heart. You know, Anniston really played them well for most of that game, especially defensively. Bulldogs they needed something more offensively in the second half to stay with Sacred Heart. They couldn't find anything offensively, but Sacred Heart, to me, obviously they're not what they have been the last few years, but it's almost like they have more depth this year.
Right, yeah, I would say so.
So it really will be an interesting matchup between Oxford and Sacred Heart. It really will be. Last year's game was a great game. This year, really on paper, looks to be both games really appear to be on paper really good matchups. Really encourage you to come out and take in the action here at Pete Matthews Coliseum on Monday night. Weather's going to be better, not going to be freezing and snowing and ice. May have a little rain maybe, but at least the temperatures won't be below freezing. So All the action gets started with the girls game at 6, boys championship game at 8. We will have live coverage, wall-to-wall live coverage of the tournament championship games on Monday night for the umpteenth year in a row.
Exactly.
Somebody asked me earlier, how many years you've been doing this? And I honestly would have to go back and count. It's like kind of knowing how old I am. I don't even remember.
Just go back and look at all the old tapes and how many championship games we've done here, and kind of fitting that Oxford is this year's host of the tournament, and both the boys and the girls will play in that championship match. And let's give a special shout out here to Oxford High School. They've done a great job considering all the weather changes. Opened their gym up yesterday for the quarterfinal games. Both the boys and girls are into Monday's final.
And that'll be it. Your final score, Oxford wins it 84-31. Yellow Jackets improved to 13-10 on the season, and the defending champion and second seeded Oxford Yellow Jackets advanced to the championship game on Monday night.
So John Holder's trying to corral our player of the game and Coach Joel Van Meter for some final thoughts.
And we'll have our America's First Federal Credit Union Player of the Game announcement here coming up in just a moment.
Everybody's getting into the action.
Yeah.
Don't know if that's a future Yellow Jacket or future Wildcat, Bulldog.
All right, let's send it over now to John Holder.
Okay, guys, we're here with our America's First Federal Credit Union Player of the Game, Braden Mack. First, we'll go ahead and give you that $25 Visa gift card. Congratulations, 18 points tonight. Big game. What was the mentality of the team coming out tonight? You jumped out to that, obviously, big 14-0 lead. What was the mentality in the dressing room?
Mentality was just come out, play hard, beat our opponents on the board, offensive rebounds, hustle hard, and just beat them.
Let's talk about Monday night now and jump ahead to the championship game against Sacred Heart, a rematch of last year. What do you think about the game Monday?
It's going to be a high intense game. We just going to play our game and hope we can beat them. Just do the same routine of what we've been doing.
All right, congratulations. We'll see you Monday night back here at the Coliseum. Oxford head coach Joel Van Meter. Now, Coach, I got to tell you, I know coaches like to find things wrong. What can you possibly find to complain about tonight?
That's what I went in at halftime, and I told them, I said, fellas, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, we shot it well. Our defense was there. It created all the tempo. There's not a whole lot I can say to you. What I can say to you is this, is one quarter can throw you off from how well you have been playing. So you got to continue to try to do the things that have got you here. Don't fall into looking at the scoreboard or anything like that, so that we can continue to play well. But there wasn't a whole lot to say bad.
How often in your career have you had a game like this against a good team? I mean, Sachs has a good team.
Hardly ever. I'll be honest with you. Most of the games that I've been involved in are nail biters and, maybe come up a little bit short. But our team is really, they're in a good place right now. Mentally, physically, we figured ourselves out. It's taken a little while, but we've done it now, and they're fun to coach.
These guys seem to have a little chip on their shoulder about the #2 seed coming into the rematch Monday with Sacred Heart. What can we look forward to on Monday?
I think it's going to be a great contest between two very good teams. I think both of our records are a little misleading because of the type of competition that we've played. They've got as good a player as there is who's going to Alabama. They've got a great tradition and 3 consecutive 1A state championships. Hopefully, our guys will be ready to go, and we'll come out and we'll battle. But the biggest thing is that whole #2 seeding, coaches talk, man. You try to do things to get your team motivated, and if it works, it works.
We'll let you get in there and chew on your team a little bit since you have so much to be unhappy about. Best of luck.
Thanks a lot.
Joel Van Meter, head coach of the Oxford Yellow Jackets.
Thanks a lot, John Holder. And Oxford and Sacred Heart, the top 2 seeds, will be meeting on Monday night, 8 o'clock, for a county championship on the line for 2018. And Oxford and Anniston girls will be meeting at 6 o'clock. So looking at the final scoring numbers for Oxford, you know, Coach Van Meter mentioned the defense setting the tone. The pressure at the beginning of the game was just suffocating against Sachs, and the Wildcats just didn't have much offense to show for it tonight. Offensively for Oxford, very balanced scoring. Braden Mack, our America's First player of the game, led Oxford with 18 points, one of 3 Yellow Jackets in double figures. Rock Taylor had 12, Simeon Shadricks with 11. Then those were the 3 in double figures, but then you had 6 other players in the scoring column as well. So a very balanced effort offensively. Definitely a team win for Oxford, and Oxford has been improving. They have gotten better and better as the season has gone on. And meanwhile, for the Sachs Wildcats, this is just one of those you don't even turn the film on. You just move on to your next game.
Absolutely. You just kind of throw away the tape and pretend, and not necessarily pretend it didn't happen, but take some lessons from, hey, we're going to run into these good teams that shoot, teams that play great offensively and team defensively. And for Coach Joe Van Meter, he also mentioned to John as well, hey, this is one of those games where one quarter we can let this thing slip. So sets up a really interesting final between the two. So far, though, you don't see the largest margins of victory coming in the semifinals, but that's exactly what we had today.
And at halftime of the girls' game, we will have the $10,000 F&M shootout, a half-court shot with Simeon Shadricks. That'll happen at halftime of the girls' game. We'll have coverage of all the activities, the trophy presentation, the all-tournament boys and girls teams, all that coming up for you Monday night beginning at 6 o'clock. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you again Monday at the Calhoun County Basketball Tournament.